Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Igniting Career Curiosity, Engaging Students in Computer Science and STEM. We are so thrilled to have you all join us for what we're really hoping to be a very enlightening discussion about empowering students through computer science and STEM education. My name is Lisa Wolf from Defined, and I'm going to be your moderator for today's session. We have a great panel of speakers who are joining us and are very passionate about advancing computer science and STEM education. So I am honored to introduce here, get my PowerPoint to work here. We have Ben DiChiara, who is going to be kind of kicking us off today and kind of talking about the partnership that Defined has with TSIN in Tennessee. Then we're going to turn it over to Dr. Stephanie Zeiger, who's going to be doing some great explanation of some of the laws and the policies and some resources that we have there in Tennessee as well as in TSIN. And then we're going to kind of bring it home here with Joey, where we can get some boots on the ground action and kind of learning some strategies of what's actually being done in schools and districts within Tennessee. So we're very excited about that. Now, in terms of the agenda, as you can see, we've got a lot of really cool stuff going. You're going to hear, like I said, a little bit about something from all three of our panelists here up here, as well as ending with Q&A. Now, we are going to have Q&A throughout as well. So please, if you do have questions, go ahead and put those in the chat. We're going to be checking those. And like I said, ending with some Q&A, but also pausing after each speaker. So please feel free to add those in there as you are going through and listening to all of our wonderful panelists here. You are all going to get a recording of this as well. So if you want to pass it along or want to refer back to it, you will be getting that in the future. So without further delay, I'm going to hand it over to our presenters, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and turn the floor over to Ben. So Ben, you can take it away.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And I am going to share screen as well. So let me go ahead and do that. You may see yourself for just a moment here. All right, and if somebody could just give me a verbal thumbs up.
All good.
Awesome, wonderful, thank you. Okay, Lisa, thank you for the introduction. Like she had said, my name is Ben. I am with the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network. We are a network that was created in partnership with the Tennessee Department of Education through our parent company, Battelle, which is located out of Columbus, Ohio. And our goal is to create a network that expands, promotes, enhances, excites students and teachers all throughout the K through 12 educational space within Tennessee. So we've got a lot of work going on here in Tennessee, and Defined has really just done a fantastic job of helping us expand all the things that we are doing. So before we get into why we love using Defined and then showing what is offered, there is a little bit of the how we got here. So I'm not going to give you an entire history lesson on the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network, but it is important to take a look at just where we kind of started. So back in 2010, the Department of Ed partnered with Battelle. They wanted to launch what they called the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network, and the focus was kindergarten to jobs. If we have students that are going to be entering our future workforce, all the way down to the kindergarten level, what does it look like? What does their educational experience look like? And how can we support that with the job needs that are coming in the near future? And especially focusing on those STEM careers and those STEM industries. So regional innovation hubs were created. The STEM designation rubric model was created. And then as fast forward to 2024, we have professional development programs. We have teacher academy programs. We still have the innovation hubs. We still have the STEM designation. We have a statewide design challenge. There's just so many things that we do. One of the things that we are so proud of, and one of the things that we love promoting the most, is the Defined system that we're using, that is a product of Senate Bill 453, which required us to provide a middle school curriculum on the variety and benefits of STEM careers. So we were required to offer this curriculum at no cost to Tennessee educators throughout the entire state. And what we landed on and what we have found to really enjoy, and what we have found that is just continuously growing with us as we have an ever-changing educational state, is the Define platform. So the Define Learning platform, as well as the Define Careers platform. So you're just going to hear me refer to it as Defined, and I'm putting both of those together. So that's a little bit of the what and the how we got here. Some of the why, the reasons why we enjoy Define so much are the things that you're seeing on the screen here. It's very equitable. It levels that playing field for all students. It's accessible. Everything can be done virtually. You don't have to live in a big city. You don't have to live next to a farm. You don't have to live next to a specific industry to experience that hands-on career experience that your students would want to see. The flexible implementation, it's perfect if you have students that work well on their own, students that work well in person, students that work well in person, remote. You see all the different models that are provided there. And then another thing that we really want to make sure that we focus on, those 21st century skills that we know are so important: grit, creativity, problem solving. If you can see it in a PBL lesson, then all of the learning experiences and all of the tasks on Defined have it. And that's something that we're really excited about. Now, some things that we absolutely love that you'll see on the site. And I know I'm sounding like a big sales pitch here, but I'm not. We're just excited about it. It meets the needs of so many different learners. There is text to speech. That read along capability is huge for those students that struggle with that. Text highlighting, line focusing, Google Translate, dictionary support. I could read them all, but these are some of the reasons why we continue to use Defined. Along with that ever-growing content library, if something new comes up, we can add new content, we can make new learning tasks, but this part here, we find, makes it easy for teachers, makes it easy for students to access the materials. So what materials are we accessing? What we are able to provide through the Department of Education of Tennessee for K through 12 public school teachers at zero cost, free, are the things that you see here on the screen right now. So collection of K through 12 performance tasks that support project-based learning. And then we get into the computer science component of that, which is still growing. And Stephanie, I promise I am not going to touch on computer science, because that's why we have you here today. Stephanie is the expert on computer science with the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network. She's gonna be humble when she gets on here and say, I don't know about expert, but she is. So I'm gonna leave all the computer science to Stephanie. But even as that's growing with the new law in our state, Define has just added more performance tasks to the site. So those teachers don't have to dig and they don't have to search and hunt. What's a good computer science lesson? There are already things embedded within the site that they can go directly to use for their students. So the Define Learning component, and then the Define Careers course that's on here, having that collection of career exploration modules and activities that students can look at, it's really expanded a lot of those rural area mindsets. I myself came from a rural area. It's where I taught for a very long time, and we used Defined when I was still teaching, and it just gave us such an opportunity to make connections with those careers that those students just didn't see for themselves. But now we have a site that can bring those career exploration experiences to the students. So a lot of excitement around this site. We're always growing. We're always looking for more input. But what we have done is we've brought Stephanie with us, and we've got Mr. Joey Hassel with us. So I'm going to let them tell you a few more of the details. Stephanie on computer science, and then Joey is going to talk more about that direct impact, as Lisa said, the boots on the ground look at it. So Stephanie, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about computer science in Tennessee.
Great, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. So I'm Stephanie Zeiger, and have had the privilege of being involved with a lot of the amazing things going on with computer science in Tennessee. And so I'm going to do a little overview with you of what's going on in our state. So first off, why? Why are we doing computer science in Tennessee? So first, we're in 2022, the Chapter 979 of the Public Acts was passed by unanimous vote in both chambers, demonstrating its importance. And in this law, it's requiring that high school students receive 1 full year of computer science education. So now there's a graduation requirement. Middle school students have to receive 1 grading period of computer science in their middle school career. And then computer science is being integrated in the elementary space. And this all started this school year, but we started TSIN with TDOE in partnership with them, started figuring out how to support educators back in 2022. So, in active response to this law, really, Tennessee Department of Education is offering the following: a no-cost computer science endorsement pathway, which I'm going to tell you a little more about. In addition, grade band computer science courses. We needed new computer science standards, a variety of resources and materials, and online courses for middle and high schools. There's also targeted professional development modules, and we needed to build a computer science education network. So TSIN was happy to come in and play a role through our partnership with TDOE in supporting bringing these things to our educators. So let me tell you a little bit about the computer science endorsement pathway. So this is unique in that there's no cost to teachers. And this endorsement is a K-12 computer science endorsement and can be added to a Tennessee teaching license. The idea of the computer science endorsement pathway is that it's going to focus on building those foundational knowledge around computer science, effective computer science pedagogy, and how the impacts of computer science are affecting our world. And this is all in relation to the developed Tennessee K-12 computer science standards that were first developed in 2022. And this is an asynchronous course that our teachers across the state of Tennessee, and if you have visited us, you'll see Tennessee is a wide state. But if you look in this figure below, this is showing that we have a teacher endorsed in every county across the state of Tennessee. I'm excited to share that we, as of today, have endorsed over 1,400 teachers in our state. And 80% of these are experienced teachers, but are new to computer science. So we're excited about setting them up for success in teaching computer science. You'll see on these slides where you'll see websites that you can go and learn more information. Now, we had the computer science endorsement pathway, but we needed to help educators understand, well, what is this new law and how might it even relate to what I'm already doing? So we created the Reach Them All program and went across the state of Tennessee. And the goal of this was to start building that foundation of computer science. And we did this through a train the trainer model. And this also helped start building that network of computer science educators across the state. So within each district, there would be a computer science district delegate, and then that delegate would select a elementary, middle, and high school computer science ambassador. And then they would go back after attending our 2-day training and go back and train their teachers. So we were building from the ground up this network of computer science educators. And we're excited to share that over 90% of our districts participated in this, and really want to thank the Tennessee Department of Education for funding it, along with sending out computer science kits that contain a variety of different things to bring computer science to life in the classroom. And these were sent out to our schools, and our ambassadors were able to get a kit too. So we set this foundation, and rather than jump straight into computer science concepts, we really wanted to find a bridge to it. And we did this through computational thinking. So we focused on algorithm, pattern recognition, decomposition, abstraction. And we saw this as the bridge between those core subject areas in computer science. We designed this computer science integration guidebook, and the idea was we wanted our teachers to see how computer science and computational thinking might already be happening in their classrooms and be able to make those connections to the subject areas that they were already really comfortable in. And so you'll find all these resources. You can dive deep into them on the computersciencetn.org website. So we've set this foundation, but we needed to continue to dive deeper into computer science. And so TSIN developed a wide variety of other supports. These include model lessons that you'll find on that website. These were developed by experienced teachers across the state of Tennessee, indicating how to integrate computer science into the classroom. You'll find a video library that has small videos of lessons in action, best practices, teacher tips, along with lesson plans so that you can kind of get a sense of what that looks like in the classroom. There's middle and high school courses that are online for our teachers and for our students. We also create a standards implementation guidebook, and this is intended to dive deeper into those computer science standards so our teachers could understand more about what they mean. And then you'll see on there with PBL and career exploration, this is where defined learning came into play. And so they can register by going to our website and be able to see those computer science connections there. Now, one last thing, because we've been really busy at TSI in the past few years, is we have a computer science momentum expedition. And this is a one-day event that happens around Computer Science Education Week. So it just happened a few weeks ago. And the whole idea of this is to get educators and industry experts together so that they can all start talking and building relationships around computer science. This is different than a traditional conference. The idea is that we have these industry experts come in. We have a keynote speaker. Zach Cass was our keynote speaker. He was an AI futurist a few weeks ago. Come in and speak to our educators. But then our educators get a chance to go on field trips that show how computer science is really impacting what we do today. So they might go on a tour of the Geota soccer stadium so they can see how computer science is impacting sports. We've gone to the Nashville Zoo and seen how that's impacting what's happening there. We've also just recently went to the Ryman Auditorium to see how computer science is impacting entertainment and how we tell our stories. And so this is an exciting day to get people excited about computer science and help them make those connections. And so if you find yourself in Tennessee in December, we'd love to invite you and come to our Computer Science Momentum Expedition. And this is always happening in December. So I'm going to pause now and see if there's any questions because I just gave you a lot of information.
I can't see the chat, so if anybody has any questions that are popping into the chat, Stephanie, if you would be able to see those for me. Can you see those?
I see the chat window, but I'm not seeing anything pop up right now.
Gotcha. So while we wait for folks to ask questions, or maybe they're just kind of processing some of the information, I do want to say that before the computer science law took effect, we had already had our partnership with Defined, and we knew that there were some computational thinking and some computer science lessons that already existed within the site. But when that computer science law took effect and we started working on these trainings, and like Stephanie said, when we started working on Reach Them All, Define jumped and they said, what can we do to enhance what we already have? So they didn't just settle saying, oh, we already have some computer science components on here. The question for us was, what can we put on our site now to make it better for you? So they looked at the guidebook, they looked at the standards that were coming out to make sure that they still had not only proficient, but more than enough resources that teachers were already using. So that's Stephanie's email there. We will have another chance at the end for you to see her email and to ask more questions. So if something comes up and maybe you just didn't get to ask it right now, then we will have another chance for that to happen at the end of the presentation. But now I'd like to introduce Mr. Joey Hassel. So Joey, again, as Lisa said, boots on the ground. He's the one that's doing this in the school district. Joey, we are extremely excited to have you on today. So Joey, I'm just going to turn it over to you.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Like I said, I'm Joey Hassel, and I'm the Director of Career Technical Education and the Supervisor for Teaching and Learning 912 in Milan Special School District. We are a rural school district in West Tennessee. We have about 2,000 students, slightly more. pre-K through 12. We're an hour and a half from Memphis and about 2 hours from Nashville. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we are. So our implementation for computer science per the state law that Stephanie and Ben have referenced was threefold. One, with our elementary school pre-K through 4th. We've used our district's instructional technology coach to ensure that elementary students see the computer science standards embedded across their curriculum. So our instructional technology coach works directly with our teachers for that. In middle school, all 6th graders in our district are enrolled in the computer science course, and they're enrolled for a grading period as the law states. And it was a 6-week grading period for us for those 6th graders. And this course is taught during a related arts block. And this teacher that teaches that for us completed the state's endorsement pathway that was offered for our teachers. At the 9-12 level, for the required credit earning course, we are doing that with our 9th grade students. So in our district and at Milan High School, all of our students are enrolled in a computer science credit that is actually the CTE course code. So students are setting in a high school computer science course that also earns them a CTE credit. We operate on a 5-block day, so students take the course either in the fall or the spring. And this course is also taught by by 2 teachers who completed that state computer science endorsement. So for the high school, it expands a little farther. I referenced that we use that computer science course code, which is Computer Science Foundation. But we look at that as the entry-level course into our program of study related to coding. So in that career cluster, it's information technology, or digital technology, and we offer that program of study around coding. So all of our students get that level 1 computer science foundation course, and then if they choose to take the pathway of coding, they can take coding 1, coding 2, and coding 2 is where we offer an industry credential, and then we have a level 4 coding practicum class. So that's kind of how we structure that. Now, beginning in 25-26, coding will actually be a cross cutting course. So any student that takes that computer science, that credit would actually count in any program of study toward completion in Tennessee. So in our district, we focus heavily on a path and plan for students. So we want to ensure the courses they're engaged in lead to opportunities post-secondary wise that put them and set them up for success. An additional step that we have taken specifically in Milan is related to a STEM for All cohort that we are doing with middle and high school teachers. And this is a specific partnership that we have with Defined and our school district. And we use those resources that Stephanie referenced, Defined Learning and the Defined Careers. And we also use the Defined Academy, where our teachers can earn credentials and complete online professional development. But this year we have 19 teachers, 6 middle school, 13 high school teachers. And you can see there we have cross-curricular across the district. At the middle school, we have 3 related arts teachers and 3 of our science teachers. And at the high school, it ranges across all of our EOC subjects, our intercourse subjects, biology, geometry, and English. Then you'll see a number of career technical education teachers involved too. So what we've done here is we've looked at creating engaging, rigorous, personalized learning environments for our students aligned to college, career, and life. So our teachers, these 19 teachers, have completed a cohort this year, and we just finished our first semester where they were looking at laying the foundation. And then they had 2 in-person days of going deeper with high-quality project-based learning with our coaches from Defined Learning. They've offered some bridge to practice activities where they've taken Defined Learning and Defined Careers, used those resources in their classroom, linked to their state standards, and then presented those or shared those with the whole group when we when we've been together. In the spring, we're really just looking at building capacity because it's our hope as a district to move toward that STEM designation that Ben referenced. And the way we wanted to do that was invest teachers in learning and understanding, how we can expand STEM for all across the school, and then let our teachers, these 19 teachers specifically, be our boots on the ground, our leaders in moving toward that designation. And the next slide shows that framework that Tennessee uses, where it looks at infrastructure, curriculum and instruction, professional development, partners supporting instruction, and then, those performance-based assessments. So our teachers through this cohort are engaging in all of these components just to strengthen what we're doing with STEM opportunities for our students at Milan Middle School and also Milan High School. And with that, we hope to move forward in completing the application for STEM and designation next year at one of our schools and the following year at the other. And that kind of wraps it up for me, being and how we've implemented that. But there's my contact information. I think it'll pop up here in a few seconds as well. But if there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
All right, thank you, Joey. Lisa, were you able to see any questions in the chat, or is there anything that?
I checked both the chat and the Q&A, and we don't have any so far. So everybody's been very thorough and must have everybody's questions answered.
We did a great job of getting all those
Yes.
questions answered, y'all. But no, if you do have a question for one of us later, I know Lisa's going to share these again near the end of today, but there's our information. Stephanie and I are both with the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network. Stephanie has a major focus on computer science and the development of those programs. And I'm involved in a lot of different aspects. And Joey mentioned STEM designation. That's one of my larger pieces of work within the network as well. So, and then again, Joey is with the Milan Special School District located in Northwest Tennessee. So if you have questions for any of us, please feel free to reach out. We love talking to people. So don't feel like any question's a bad question, because they're not. Lisa, before I turn it back over to you, I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to our Tennessee folks. Amy and Beth, I know that they're listening right now, but those are our folks that we go to when we need help with Defined, or if we are at a conference, or if we just have a question about programming. We know we can call them or we can email them. So, and Lisa, you too. Anytime we have something that comes up with Defined, just the response time is tremendous. So, I showed the slide about why we love using Defined, but I want to make sure that I mention it's the people behind it as well. It's not just the content or just the flow of the website. It's the service that you get with Defined. So that's more important than anything else, in my opinion. So now, Lisa, I'll turn it to you.
Well, thanks so much, Ben. And yes, Beth and Amy are definitely two of our many rock stars here, but we just love working with you as well. So to kind of conclude the webinar, some of you are perhaps new to Defined, and I was going to show just very briefly one of our computer science tasks, so you can really kind of see exactly what it is that they're talking about when they're talking about the Defined Learning platform here. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here and just do a very quick walkthrough so you can kind of get an idea of what it is that we're all about, where they keep referring to the platform and the tasks and the careers here. So I am in Defined Learning right now. And like you also heard, we do have another platform as well, Defined Careers. But within Defined Learning, this is where you're going to see all of our computer science and STEM, which is what Tennessee is using. We also have a number of other content areas as well up here, but we're going to focus right now on the computer science and STEM catalog. In here, you'll see this is a K through 12 catalog of content with a number of different courses spanning all the way from grades K through 12. Since I heard a little bit more, about focusing on middle school, I'm going to go right into one of our middle school tasks. We've got a middle school computer and technology integration course, as well as a number of other at the middle school, but I'm going to go right into that computer one. And they all certainly have ties to computer as well. You'll see right within here, each one of our courses is going to be laid out in this similar way, where along the right, you'll see a unit outline. And you'll see all the different content areas that are going to be covered here. All of this is aligned to standards, both the national CSTA standards, and I'm also going to show you how it, in this case, I'm in the Tennessee demo account. You'll see it aligned to Tennessee standards, but these are aligned to all of the different state computer science standards. So I'm just going to go into this very first one. You'll see in each unit here, we've got a number of different topics, and each one is going to be through the lens of a career. So we're going to go into this computer technician course, and I'm in as an educator right now. So you're going to see what the educators see, which is going to be very similar to what the students see on their site as well. But up at the top, you'll see a slideshow that teachers can use within their classrooms, but also this can be shared to students, and they're going to be able to see this as well. Down below, you're going to see a number of different tabs. An introduction, just kind of showing teachers what this particular task is about. The products that they're going to be creating. Each one is going to have their own rubric dedicated to that particular product to, again, really help immerse the students into that computer science. We've got checking questions all along the way. You'll see that as I go through the slideshow. A number of different resources, whether it is for both teachers as well as students, right there at the ready. I know standards alignment is very important to folks. We've got that, like I said, aligned to the CSTA standards, but also depending on what state you're in. If you have computer science standards, you're going to see those are right in here as well. And then finally, you heard a little bit that, Tennessee is also using our Defined Careers platform. And all of the defined learning tasks that are in the middle school and high school level, all of them have these defined careers connections where students can go in and see a little bit more about a career that is similar to what they're exploring in their class. And then if they do have defined careers, they can actually go ahead and explore that right in the Defined Careers platform. But let's take a look a little bit about what this task is before we wrap up here. So each one of these projects is going to be set up in the same structure. It's all going to be through this engaging slideshow with a number of different videos in here. There's going to be an introduction, always making sure that there are connections to the real world. Those check-in questions that you saw below are going to be embedded right within the slideshow. And then each task is going to have the goal, role, audience, and situation to really provide an authentic context for students to really learn about, in this case, computer science and these careers that are in that computer science field. I'll play just a little bit about this one.
Your goal is to diagnose software and hardware issues. You will be analyzing options to troubleshoot and provide solutions to these challenges. As part of a team of technical support specialists, you work with hardware and software systems throughout your school district. You are an integral part of the team that builds a structured process to troubleshoot problems with computing systems and ensure that potential solutions are uncovered. Your role is a technical support specialist. You work to serve and assist district staff and students experiencing challenges with various computing devices.
So it is a little bit, I showed about 30 seconds, but you can kind of get a feel for what that is. And I just wanted to show I know Ben had mentioned a number of times about accessibility features that we have built in and wanted to demo those a little bit. In addition, we also have that all written in text too. So each one is going to be through that lens. Then as we're working through, we're going to have students beginning their research, thinking about, all of their, we have some structured questions there that are going to help them learn about this career and the different products that they're going to be creating. Helpful vocabulary along the way to, again, really help them learn about those computer science terms and whatever it is they're going to be creating, as well as learning about for the career. Dedicated research resources. These are just a starting point. The students and teachers are welcome to use these, but also certainly welcome to use their own. And then each task is going to have 2 to 3 products here that are going to be related back to that computer science career, as well as tasks and products that are going to be related to helping them learn about things that they would have to do on the job. So here you can see we've got 3 of them there. They're going to create either a survey, FAQ, or a troubleshooting help guides, which are all things that someone in that particular career would have to do. So you'll see a little bit more detail about the products that students can create. And this can be, a menu of options. It can be student voice and choice, or teachers can customize all of this and maybe they only want to have them do one of these. It's completely up to them. Helping them out with the design process all along the way. And then the next steps is going to be to actually create that product. So I know some of you who are on today were new to Defined, and I wanted to just make sure you knew a little bit about what it is that we do here. So I just wanted to show a little bit about that. Everything that the students are creating does go onto an online portfolio. And like I mentioned, all of this that I just showed you is customizable too. So if there's certain things that are specific that you want to include, maybe from your particular area or city or community, you can certainly customize that as well. So I'll check the chat one more time, see if we have any more questions that have come in. Doesn't look like we do. But I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Like Ben said, we do have, if you do think of some along the way, here's everybody's email address. We're so thankful for you that you all tuned in today to watch. I did want to mention, if you'd like to hear a little bit more about Defined Careers, session 2 of our Defined Symposium, Building Tomorrow Skills Today, Career Connected Learning, is coming up on February 4th. So if you scan that QR code, that is where you can go to register. I'm also going to put our events page in the chat for everybody, so that if you would like to take a look there and learn a little bit more about some things that we have coming up, that would be right there as well. So you can register. But I want to again thank our wonderful panelists who are just amazing partners for us, and thank you for doing all the great work for all of your students in Tennessee and helping us out today and sharing your story. And if there are no other questions, we will go ahead and wrap up, give everybody a few minutes back in their day. So again, thank you all, and happy holiday season, and we will see you all next year. So thank you.